as in how it all comes together, who all work around it, the people involved in the production, and things like that.
Okay. So, in order for me to be able to write about, or you're talking about like the flyers and things, right?
Mhm.
So in order for me to be able to create a flyer based on a group, I kind of need to have some sort of a sense of what even happens in that group, because I'm training facilitators, but I'm also, they're given a lot of free range as far as how their group is going to look, who their target population is going to be, whether there's childcare or not. Typically there's free childcare, whether they serve a meal, what time of the day it meets, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of talking with those facilitators. What do you want your marketing to look like? I just had a meeting with our Monday night group, which is mostly a teen mom group. I just had that flyer in front of me. And we've been having a lull in attendance, and they thought refreshing the marketing and getting some flyers out might be helpful. So I sat down with them, and we talked about the parents that we've traditionally seen come to the group. They're very young. They're still very much adolescents, even though they're in the parenting role. And so we want to get something that's a little bit more, I had a couple pictures of families, or like a dad and his son, and he was kind of like up on his shoulders, and they were sort of, they looked about maybe 30, I don't know. And they said, really, we need something that's more fresh. So I started this one. I didn't pass it because the colors are pretty awful, but they said, we want colorful, we want, something teenagers are going to really kind of gravitate toward. So the name of the group itself is Hyped Up, which is kind of cool, but they wanted it to say, they didn't want it to say, my old flyer had, education and awareness and all these things, and teenagers don't really care about that. They care about having fun and stress relief and music. They love music, so we put music on here, and we actually do that in the group. We play music, games and stuff like that. They get a lot more out of the stress relief of coming to a parent group than they do out of knowing they're going to come and learn about some topic, because they get a lot of that anyway with their home visits and things like that. So that's one example of how I needed to bring everybody really in and talk about what do you think, is going to draw people into a group, because really once we get them to come to group one time, there's a hook there. They'll come back, but a lot of times it's the flyer and it's the marketing that really gets them to come. Like, oh, that looks kind of cool. That's something I would want to do. My printer, my building prints really dark, so this didn't come out very well. But if I brighten up these colors, I think it'll be much more readable. But that's kind of an example that I really had to get the people who facilitate it, the people who provide childcare on board to really talk about what do you think is going to get people to come to group.